Welcome to Golden Billionaire Story. Subscribe, like, comment to keep us growing and gives you more content like this.
You can't be
Say
serious
yes
right
or
now.
watch me walk
After
away.
everything we shared,
Amara's
you're just gonna sit
breath
there and
caught
let
in
me
her
watch you
throat.
humiliate me like this.
The entire restaurant went silent. Forks paused midair. Conversations died instantly. Every eye turned toward their table. Noah stood in front of her, chest rising, eyes locked on hers. Not angry, not desperate, just done waiting. Across from him, Damian leaned back in his chair, swirling his drink slowly like he was enjoying a show. Go on, Damian said calmly. I'm curious too. Amara's fingers trembled against the table. Noah, not here. Then where? Noah shot back. Because I've been waiting, Amara. I've been patient. I've watched him come into your life like he owns it, and I stayed quiet. Damian smirked. Smart move, know your place. Noah ignored him. I need an answer, he said, softer now but more intense. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. Amara's heart pounded so loud she could barely hear herself think. Why are you doing this? She whispered. Because I'm tired of competing with a man who thinks love is something he can buy. Damian leaned forward slightly. And I'm tired of pretending this is a fair competition. Amara shut her eyes for a second. This wasn't how it was supposed to happen. Not like this. Amara, Damian said smoothly, his voice lowering, controlled. Let's be realistic. You've seen what I can offer: stability, power, a future where you never have to struggle again. Noah let out a dry laugh. There it is. Damian's gaze snapped to him. What? You don't even hear yourself, Noah said. You talk about her like she's signing a contract. And you talk like love is enough, Damian fired back. It's not. Noah stepped closer to the table. It is when it's real. And what do you have to show for your real love? Damian challenged. A small paycheck, a rented apartment, dreams. Amara flinched. Noah saw it. And that hurt more than anything Damian said. He exhaled slowly. I may not have everything, but I show up every day for her. Damian scoffed. Effort doesn't impress me. It doesn't have to impress you, Noah snapped. It matters to her. Silence. Heavy. Tense. Amara looked from one man to the other, her chest tightening. Stop, she said weakly. But neither of them stopped. Damian stood now, towering slightly, his presence commanding. You think she wants to struggle with you. You think she wants to wake up every day worrying about bills. Noah's jaw tightened. You don't know what she wants. I know exactly what she needs. No, Noah said firmly. You know what you want. The air felt like it might crack. Enough, Amara shouted. Everything froze. Her voice shook, but it carried. I'm not a prize, she continued, her eyes glossy. I'm not something you win or lose. Both men went quiet. Finally, she stood slowly, pushing her chair back. I didn't ask for this, she said, looking at Noah. Not like this. I'm sorry, he said immediately, but I can't keep pretending I'm okay with losing you. Her gaze softened for a second, then shifted to Damian. And you, she said, her tone tightening again. You don't get to decide what's best for me. Damian held her gaze, unbothered. I'm offering you a better life. You're offering control, she shot back. A flicker of something crossed his face, but it vanished just as quickly. Then he straightened his jacket. Fine, he said calmly, let's simplify this. He gestured between himself and Noah. Him or me? Amara's stomach dropped. No pressure, he added casually. Noah didn't speak. He just looked at her. That same look. The one that made everything feel real. Amara, Noah said quietly, I'm not perfect. I don't have what he has, but I love you, and I'm not afraid to say it out loud. Her eyes filled instantly. Damian exhaled sharply. Love again. Yes, love, Noah snapped, because that's what this is supposed to be. Damian's voice dropped, colder now. Love doesn't protect you from reality. And money doesn't protect you from loneliness, Noah fired back. That hit. Even Amara felt it. For the first time, Damian didn't respond immediately. Amara stepped back slightly, overwhelmed. I can't do this, she whispered. Then end it, Damian said. Choose, Noah added. Her heart raced. Her mind screamed. Her chest felt like it might collapse under the pressure. Everyone was watching. Waiting. Judging. She looked at Damian. Power, security, a life without struggle. Then she looked at Noah. Warmth, honesty, a love that felt real. Her lips parted. Her voice broke. She swallowed hard. I choose. If you've made it this far, hit that like button right now, because this is where everything changes. And trust me, you don't want to miss what happens next. I choose Noah. Silence. Pure, shocking silence. Damian didn't move. Didn't blink. Didn't react. Noah, on the other hand, froze completely. Wait, what? I choose you, Amara said again, her voice shaking but certain now. Not because it's easy, not because it makes sense to everyone else, but because it feels right to me. Noah let out a breath he didn't realize he was holding. Are you serious? He asked. She nodded, tears slipping down her cheeks. I'm tired of choosing fear. I want to choose love even if it scares me. He stepped forward slowly, almost like he was afraid she'd disappear. Then he pulled her into a tight embrace. You won't regret this, he whispered. She closed her eyes. I hope not, she murmured. Across the room, Damian finally moved. He picked up his glass, took a slow sip, then set it down with precision. Well, he said quietly, that's disappointing. Amara pulled away from Noah, turning toward him. Damian. No, he cut in smoothly, you've made your choice. There was no anger in his voice. That was what made it worse. Just calm. Cold calm. I hope it makes you happy, he added. But his eyes said something else entirely. Something darker. He walked past them without another word. And just like that, he was gone. Amara let out a shaky breath. That was intense. Noah laughed softly. That's one way to put it. She looked at him, really looked at him. You're sure about this? She asked. About us? He didn't hesitate. I've never been more sure of anything. Her heart softened. Then don't make me regret it, she said. I won't. But somewhere deep inside, something felt unsettled. Later that night in her apartment, Amara sat on the edge of her bed, replaying everything. Her phone buzzed. Message after message. Her mother, you made a mistake. Her friend, girl, are you okay? Unknown number. She opened it. You think you know him. Her heart skipped. Another message came immediately. You don't. She frowned. Who is this? She typed back. No response. A knock sounded at her door. Her chest tightened. Who is it? She called. It's me, Noah's voice came through. She relaxed slightly and opened the door. He stood there smiling, holding a small paper bag. I brought food, he said. Thought you might not feel like cooking after all that. She smiled faintly. You read my mind. He stepped in, placing the bag on the table. I meant what I said earlier, he added. I'm going to make this work for us. She watched him carefully. You always say that. And I always mean it. She hesitated. Then asked softly, Noah, is there anything you're not telling me? He paused. Just for a second. Then he smiled. No. But something in his eyes didn't match his answer. And Amara felt it. She just didn't know yet. that the man she chose over a billionaire was hiding a truth that would change everything. End of batch 1. Next part will escalate the secrets, tension, and the first major crack in Noah's identity. Amara couldn't sleep. She lay on her bed staring at the ceiling, Noah's voice replaying in her head. No. It had sounded too quick, too smooth. Her phone lit up again. Unknown number. Pay attention to the details. Her chest tightened. What details? She whispered. She sat up, her mind racing. Then she looked around her apartment. Everything was normal. Simple. Nothing out of place. But suddenly, it didn't feel that way anymore. The next morning, Noah was already awake, packing slightly as he spoke on the phone near the window. Yes, I said handle it, he murmured. Amara paused just outside the room. His tone was different. Lower, sharper. She had never heard him like that before. I don't care what it costs, he continued. Just make sure it's done before the end of the week. Her heart skipped. Costs? Done. What was he talking about? She stepped in slowly. Noah turned instantly, ending the call. Hey, he said quickly, forcing a smile. You're up early. Amara studied him. Who was that? No one important. That answer again. Short, dismissive. She crossed her arms. You sounded serious. It's work, he replied casually. Garage stuff. Since when do garages talk about whatever it costs? He hesitated. Just for a second. Then chuckled lightly. Customer issue, you know how people are. She didn't laugh. Didn't move. Didn't blink. And for the first time, Noah looked slightly uncomfortable. Amara, are you sure you're not hiding something from me? She asked, her voice steady but sharp. He walked closer, gently holding her hands. Hey, he said softly, look at me. She did. I told you there's nothing. Her eyes searched his face. Every detail. Every micro-expression. Trying to catch something. Anything. But he was calm. Too calm. She pulled her hands away slowly. Okay, she said. But she didn't believe him. Not fully. Later that day, Amara decided to visit Noah at work. Unannounced. She needed to see things for herself. The garage was small, just like she remembered. Grease-stained floors, loud metal sounds, the smell of oil thick in the air. But something felt off. The workers seemed unusually alert. One of them spotted her and immediately nudged another. Amara, a familiar voice called. It was Musa, one of Noah's co-workers. Hey, she said, forcing a smile. Is Noah around? Musa hesitated. That tiny pause again. He stepped out, he said. Stepped out where? A supply run. She nodded slowly. Since when does Noah do supply runs himself? Musa scratched his head. You know him, always hands-on. She smiled faintly. Yeah, I know him. But the doubt in her chest grew heavier. As she turned to leave, something caught her eye. A car parked just outside. Sleek. Black. Expensive. Way too expensive for this place. Her steps slowed. She walked toward it unconsciously. Her reflection stared back at her from the tinted glass. Then, the door clicked. She froze. A man stepped out from the driver's side. Well-dressed, sharp, professional. Not someone who belonged here. Can I help you? He asked politely. Amara blinked. I was just looking. He nodded. This area isn't exactly safe for expensive things. She let out a small, nervous laugh. That's what I was thinking, so whose car is it? The man hesitated. Then said carefully, it belongs to someone important. Her stomach twisted. Important how? Before he could answer. Amara. She turned sharply. Noah. Standing a few steps away. His expression was unreadable. What are you doing here? He asked. I came to see you, she replied. Is that a problem? No, he said quickly. Of course not. She gestured toward the car. Nice ride. Didn't know your customers dropped off things like this. The air shifted. Tension. Heavy. The suited man straightened slightly. I should get going. Noah nodded. Yeah. The man gave Amara a polite smile before getting into the car and driving off. She watched it disappear, then turned back to Noah. Care to explain? Noah ran a hand through his hair. It's not what you think. Then tell me what it is. It's just a client. A client with a car worth more than this entire garage. He sighed. Amara. No, she cut in. Stop doing that. Doing what? Making me feel like I'm crazy for asking normal questions. Workers nearby began to glance over. Whispers started. Noah noticed. Can we not do this here? He said under his breath. Why not? She challenged. You're not hiding anything, right? That hit. Hard. His jaw tightened. Fine, he said. You want answers, let's talk, but not here. Then where? My place. She folded her arms. Now. The drive was silent. Tense. Heavy with unspoken thoughts. When they arrived, Noah didn't waste time. He stepped inside, packing slightly. Amara stood near the door. Talk, she said. He stopped. Looked at her. Exhaled slowly. You trust me, right? She didn't answer immediately. I want to, she said finally. That hurt. He nodded. Okay, then listen carefully. Her heart pounded. There are things about my life that I haven't told you, he admitted. Her chest tightened instantly. But not because I wanted to lie to you. Then why? She asked quietly. Because I needed to be sure. Sure of what? He looked straight into her eyes. Sure that you loved me for me. Her stomach dropped. What does that even mean? It means, he said slowly, that the version of me you know isn't the full story. Silence. Thick. Loud. Amara's voice came out barely above a whisper. Noah, what are you saying? He stepped closer. His expression serious now. No softness. No jokes. Just truth finally breaking through. I'm not just a mechanic. Her heart started racing. Then what are you? He held her gaze and said the words that shattered everything she thought she knew. I'm a millionaire. The room spun. Amara blinked. Once. Twice. Then laughed. A short, disbelieving laugh. Stop it. I'm serious. No, you're not, she said, shaking her head. This isn't funny. I'm not joking. Her chest rose rapidly. You expect me to believe that, she snapped. After everything, after watching you struggle, after seeing you count money just to buy food sometimes. That was real, he said quietly. Then what is this? She demanded. The part I hid. Tears filled her eyes instantly. So what? I was a test, she whispered. No. Was I? She shouted. He didn't answer fast enough. And that was enough. Her heart cracked. You let me believe you had nothing, she said, her voice breaking. You let me defend you, fight for you, choose you over everything. I needed to know, he said, his voice rising for the first time. I needed to know that you weren't choosing me because of money. I already proved that, she cried. I know. Then why keep lying? Silence. Heavy. Painful. Because I was scared, he admitted. That stopped her. I've had people come into my life for what I have, he continued. I've been used, lied to, betrayed. So you decided to do the same to me, she asked, her voice hollow. No, I just delayed the truth. That's still a lie. He had no response to that. Tears streamed down her face. I chose you, she said softly. I chose the struggle. I chose the uncertainty. I chose you when everyone told me I was making a mistake. Her voice broke completely. And all this time you were watching me, judging me, testing me. I wasn't judging you. Then what do you call it? She snapped. He stepped closer again. I call it protecting myself. And what about me? She asked. Who protects me from you? That hit deeper than anything else. Silence filled the room. Then slowly, she took off the ring. His breath caught. Amara. I need space, she said, placing it on the table. Her hands were shaking. Her heart breaking. Don't do this, he whispered. I already did, she replied. And with that, she walked out, leaving him standing there, with the truth finally exposed, and everything falling apart. If you're still watching, comment trust below because what just happened changes everything. And trust me, you're not ready for what's coming next. Amara didn't stop walking. She didn't look back. Even when her vision blurred with tears, even when her chest felt too tight to breathe, she kept going. By the time she reached the main road, her phone was already ringing. She didn't need to check. She knew it was him. Noah. It rang again. And again. And again. Finally, she stopped. Her hands trembled as she answered. What? She said coldly. Please don't hang up, Noah's voice came through strained. Just listen to me. I've been listening to you, she snapped. That's the problem. I know I messed up. You lied, she cut in. I didn't lie about loving you. That doesn't cancel the rest, she shouted, her voice breaking. Silence. Then softer, he said, I didn't know how to tell you. You could have started with the truth, she replied bitterly. I was going to, he insisted. After the proposal, I just needed the right moment. She laughed painfully. The right moment, after I already chose you over everything. Yes, he said quietly, because then I'd know it was real. Her chest tightened again. You don't get it, she whispered. It was real, but now I don't even know what to believe anymore. Believe this, he said quickly. Everything I felt for you, every moment that was real, none of that was fake. She closed her eyes. Tears slipped down again. I need space, she said. Don't call me again. Amara. She ended the call. Immediately, she blocked his number. Her hands dropped to her sides. And for the first time since everything started, she felt completely alone. Maybe I really made the wrong choice. Maybe you didn't. She froze. That voice. Slow. Calm. Familiar. She turned slowly. Damian stood a few steps behind her, hands in his pockets, looking like he had been there longer than he should have. Her heart skipped. Were you following me? No, he said smoothly. I just knew where you'd end up. She scoffed. Of course you did. His eyes studied her face carefully. You've been crying. I'm fine. No, you're not. I said I'm fine. He stepped closer, his presence controlled but intense. He told you, didn't he? Damian said. Her eyes snapped to his. You knew. I suspected. Her stomach twisted. How? Damian exhaled lightly. Because men like him don't stay small forever, not with the way he carries himself. She shook her head. No, don't do that. Do what? Act like you understand him. I understand strategy, Damian corrected. And what he did was a strategy. It wasn't a strategy, she argued weakly. He said he was protecting himself. Damian let out a quiet laugh. That's what manipulators say when they get caught. Her chest tightened. No, she said firmly, though her voice lacked strength. Noah is not like that. Then why did he lie? She opened her mouth. But nothing came out. Damian watched her closely. Exactly, he said softly. Silence fell between them. Heavy, uncomfortable, confusing. Then he spoke again, his tone gentler now. You chose him because you believed he was real, he said. Simple, honest, struggling like you. She looked away. And now, he continued, now you're questioning everything. Her voice dropped. I don't know what to think anymore. Damian stepped even closer. You don't have to, he said, not right now. She glanced up at him. What are you saying? I'm saying, he paused, choosing his words carefully, you don't have to go through this alone. Her guard went up instantly. I'm not running back to you. I didn't ask you to, he replied calmly. Then what do you want? His gaze softened slightly. I want you to be okay. She searched his face, suspicious. Since when? Since you became the only person who ever said no to me. That caught her off guard. She frowned. That's not a good enough reason. It's honest. Silence. Then he added, come with me. Her brows furrowed. Where? Somewhere quiet, somewhere you can think without all this noise. I shouldn't. You should, he countered, because right now you're hurt, confused, and vulnerable. She crossed her arms. That sounds like a setup. He smirked faintly. If I wanted to manipulate you, I wouldn't be this obvious. She hesitated. Her mind screamed no. But her heart was tired. I'm not promising anything, she said finally. I'm not asking for promises. After a long pause, she nodded. Fine. As they walked toward his car, Amara felt something shift inside her. Something dangerous. Because part of her knew. This wasn't over. Not even close. Meanwhile, Noah stood in his apartment, staring at the ring still sitting on the table. The silence around him felt suffocating. His phone buzzed. He picked it up instantly. Blocked. His chest tightened. Damn it, he muttered. He ran a hand through his hair, packing. You messed this up, he said to himself. But I can fix it, I can fix it. Another phone on the table buzzed. Different one. He picked it up. Yes, his tone changed instantly, sharp, controlled. She left, the voice on the other end said. I know. And Damian. A pause. Noah's jaw tightened. He's already moving. Noah's eyes darkened. Of course he is. What do you want us to do? Noah didn't hesitate. Watch him. Just watch. For now, Noah said coldly, I don't want him making a move without me knowing. And if he gets too close. Silence. Then. He won't. The confidence in his voice was different now. Not the Noah Amara knew. Not the struggling mechanic. Something else. Something powerful. Because if he does, Noah added slowly, then we stop playing nice. The call ended. Noah looked at the ring again. His expression hardened. This isn't over, he said quietly. You're still mine, Amara, you just don't know it yet. Back in the car, Amara stared out the window, her thoughts spiraling. Say something, Damian said. About what? About what you're feeling. She let out a dry laugh. I don't even know what I'm feeling. That's not true. She glanced at him. Oh really? Then tell me. You feel betrayed, he said. Because someone you trusted hid a major part of himself from you. Her chest tightened. You feel stupid, he continued, because you defended him. Her grip on her hands tightened. And you feel angry, he finished, because deep down you still love him. Tears filled her eyes again. Stop, she whispered. Am I wrong? She didn't answer. Because he was. The car slowed as they pulled into a quiet, luxurious compound. Amara blinked. Where are we? My place, Damian said. Her eyes widened slightly. This isn't just a house. It's home, he replied. As they stepped inside, everything felt overwhelming. Space, silence, perfection. But no warmth. Amara wrapped her arms around herself. It's beautiful, she admitted softly. It's empty, Damian corrected. She glanced at him. I built all of this, he said, gesturing around, and still had no one to share it with. She didn't know what to say. So she said nothing. He turned to her. Stay tonight. Her eyes widened. What? Not like that, he added quickly. Just stay, clear your head, no pressure, no decisions. She hesitated. Then slowly. She nodded. Just for tonight. Damian gave a small nod. Good. But as Amara walked further into his world, she didn't realize something critical. She had just stepped directly into a battle between two powerful men. One who lost her, and one who refused to lose. If you're still watching, hit subscribe right now because the next part, that's where everything explodes. Amara didn't sleep. She lay on the massive bed, staring into the darkness, the silence of Damian's house pressing against her chest. Everything felt wrong. Too quiet. Too perfect. Too controlled. She turned, exhaling slowly, but her mind wouldn't stop. Noah's voice. Damian's words. The lie. The truth. The love. Why didn't you just tell me? She whispered into the empty room. Her phone lit up on the nightstand. A notification. Unknown number again. Her heart skipped. She picked it up. You're in danger. Her chest tightened instantly. Another message came. Leave that house. Her eyes widened. Who is this? She typed quickly. 3 dots appeared. Then disappeared. No reply. A chill ran down her spine. She sat up, listening carefully. The house was silent. Too silent. Then, a faint sound. Footsteps. Her breath caught. She slid off the bed slowly, her heart pounding as she moved toward the door. She opened it slightly. The hallway was dimly lit. Empty. Hello, she called softly. No answer. But something felt off. Very off. She stepped out carefully, walking down the hallway. Then she heard it again. Voices. Low. From downstairs. She moved closer, her pulse racing. I told you to handle it, Damian's voice said, calm but firm. Amara froze. Handle what? Another voice responded, muffled. We tried, but he's already tightening things. A pause. Then Damian again. I don't want excuses, I want results. Amara's stomach dropped. They weren't talking about business. She knew it. Should we move against him now? The other voice asked. No, Damian replied, not yet. Why wait? A slight pause. Then, because she's here. Amara's breath stopped. Her hand flew to her mouth. They're both predictable, Damian continued. He'll come for her, and when he does... Silence. Then the other man spoke carefully. We finish it. Amara stumbled back slightly, her heart slamming violently against her chest. No, no, no. She turned quickly, rushing back toward her room. But the floor creaked. The voices stopped. "Did you hear that?" the other man asked. Amara froze. Her body locked in place. Footsteps. Coming closer. Vast. Her mind screamed. "Move! Move!" She ran. Back into the room, shutting the door quietly but quickly, her breath coming in sharp bursts. Her heart felt like it would explode. A knock came. Soft. Controlled. Amara, Damian's voice. She couldn't speak. Another knock. "Are you awake?" Her hands shook. Think. Why, yes, she managed. The door handle turned slightly. Then stopped. "Everything okay?" he asked. She forced her voice to steady. "Yeah, I just couldn't sleep." A pause. Too long. Then finally. "Get some rest," he said. His footsteps faded. Amara collapsed onto the bed, her entire body trembling. What is happening? This wasn't just about love anymore. This was something else. Something dangerous. Meanwhile, Noah stood in front of a large glass window overlooking the city, his reflection staring back at him. Gone was the mechanic. Gone was the softness. All that remained was control. "Track her phone," he said sharply. "We lost signal for a bit," his associate replied, "but we just picked it up again." "Where?" A pause. Then, "With him." Noah's jaw tightened instantly. "Of course she is," he muttered. "What's the move?" Noah didn't hesitate. "I'm going to get her." "That's risky," the voice warned. "You know what Damian is capable of." Noah's eyes darkened. "And he knows what I'm capable of." Silence. Then the associate spoke again. "You sure you want to escalate this?" Noah turned slowly, his gaze cold, calculated. He already did. Back in the house, Amara grabbed her bag, her breathing uneven. "I need to leave," she whispered. "Now." Before it was too late. She moved toward the window. Too high. No chance. The door. Risky. But she had no choice. She opened it slowly, peeking into the hallway. Empty. She stepped out quietly, her heart racing as she moved toward the stairs. Every step felt louder than it should. Then, leaving so soon, she froze. Slowly turned. Damian stood at the bottom of the stairs, hands in his pockets, watching her. Her throat went dry. I just needed some air," she said quickly. "At this hour?" he asked calmly. She swallowed. "I don't feel comfortable." His gaze sharpened slightly. "Because of what you heard." Her heart dropped. Silence. Heavy. Damian stepped closer. "You shouldn't listen to conversations that don't concern you," he said. Her voice trembled. "You're talking about Noah." "And you said you'd finish it," she snapped. He stopped walking. Then exhaled lightly. "You misunderstood." "No, I did." "Amara," he said, his tone lowering, more serious now, "this world is bigger than what you think. There are things you don't understand." "Then explain them," she demanded. He looked at her for a long moment. Then said quietly, "He's not who you think he is." Her chest tightened. "Neither are you." A beat. Then, "You're right," Damian admitted. That surprised her. "I built my life making hard decisions," he continued. "Winning, protecting what's mine." "I'm not yours," she said immediately. His eyes held hers. "No," he agreed, "but I don't lose easily." Before she could respond, the sound of tires screeching outside cut through the tension. Both of them turned. Then, A loud crash. Glass shattered somewhere downstairs. Amara jumped. "What was that?" she gasped. Damian's expression changed instantly. Sharp. Focused. "He's here." Her heart stopped. "Noah." Before Damian could respond. Footsteps. Vast. Heavy. Then a voice echoed through the house. "Amara." Her entire body reacted instantly. "Noah." She rushed forward, but Damian grabbed her wrist. "Wait. Let me go," she cried. "This isn't safe. Neither is staying here." Another crash. Closer now. Then, Noah appeared at the end of the hallway, breathing hard, eyes locked on her. For a second, everything stopped. "Amara," he said, his voice softer now. Relief flooded her face. "Noah." But Damian stepped forward slightly, placing himself between them. "You really shouldn't have come here," he said calmly. Noah's gaze shifted to him. "Cold. Dangerous. I'm not here for you." Damian smirked faintly, clearly. "Let her go," Noah said. "No," Damian replied. Tension exploded instantly. Amara pulled her hand free from Damian's grip. "Stop it, both of you." But neither man moved. Neither blinked. Neither backed down. "This isn't your fight," Noah said to her, without taking his eyes off Damian. "It became my fight the moment you lied to me," she snapped. That hit. But he didn't break focus. "I came to fix that," he said. "By breaking into his house," she challenged. "If that's what it takes." Damian let out a quiet laugh. "You see, this is who he really is." "No," Noah shot back. "This is who you made me become." "Enough," Amara screamed. Silence fell. Finally, she stepped between them, her chest rising and falling rapidly. "I'm done," she said. Both men looked at her. "I'm done being pulled into your world, your secrets, your power games." Her eyes filled with tears. "I just wanted something real." She looked at Noah. "And you lied." Then at Damian. "And you manipulate everything." Her voice broke. "I don't trust either of you anymore." That hit harder than anything else. Silence. Deep. Final. She took a step back. Then another. "I'm choosing myself." Noah's expression cracked slightly. "Amara." "No," she said, shaking her head. "Don't." Damian didn't speak. For once, he had nothing to say. Amara wiped her tears, her voice steadier now. "I'd rather be alone than be with someone I can't trust." And with that, she turned and walked away. Past Noah. Past Damian. Past everything. Neither man stopped her. Neither man could. Because for the first time, she wasn't choosing love. She wasn't choosing money. She was choosing herself. And that was something neither of them expected. If you made it to the end, hit that like button and subscribe, because sometimes the strongest choice isn't love or wealth.